So we do have a church family update, and it's important as a church family to communicate well, to help each other understand what's happening, to be on the same page, and to seek God's direction and help together. So here's something that we want you to be aware of. As the year winds down, as you often know, this time of year we're headed into our budget process. And as one of the leaders, as the leaders around here, we know it's our role to help make sure that we're all aware of our current financial situation, and more importantly than that, invite you to join us in prayer, because we need to together seek God's guidance on how we should proceed in this area. So we're including this update to make you aware that this year, the way things are looking, we are headed for a budget shortfall. That means that our giving very likely won't meet our budgeted needs for 2025. And just like when you budget at home, and just like if that has ever been your situation, then that might cause some difficult decisions to be made. And so I'm making you aware so that you can join us in praying and seeking God's wisdom. And I'm also making you aware this morning because, as you may have already heard, I will not be around for the next several weeks. And so while I am off for surgery and recovery, you're going to be hearing in the next few weeks from other leaders, from our staff, from our elders, helping you to know about our budget process, how we make decisions, how we seek guidance from the Lord, what are some of these possible cuts that we face if that's the situation that's necessary. And in doing so, in the next few weeks, they'll be preparing you for our annual meeting that always occurs late in the year, especially for those of you that are official members. The official members are the ones that need to be prepared for that meeting because they are the ones that vote on our 2026 budget. So that's the situation to be aware of, and we'd invite you to join us then in praying through that and listening for what God has for us in the coming weeks. Also, however, as leaders, as one of your pastors, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't remind each other of the opportunity we have, of the responsibility we have as followers of Jesus, as members of a church family, to financially support the ministry that God has called us to. If you're not aware, I can state it about this. This is about as simply as I can state it. The ministry of Faith Church, all that you see and that goes on in and through the ministry of Faith Church, God provides for us through the generosity of his people, you, those that call Faith Church home. And we're super thankful for your worship of God in that way, your willing sacrifice in that way, and your giving makes it possible for this ministry to function financially. So the ministry of Faith Church, all that you see God doing in and through us is dependent on the generosity, the willing, sacrificial, cheerful giving of all of God's people, all the people that come and participate and call Faith Church home. Where does this come from? How do we know this? How do we learn this and hear this from the Lord? One reason you heard me talk about a few minutes ago, one reason that we take the offering, worship through giving every Sunday, is because our giving is one of the ways we worship and show our thankfulness. Jesus spoke a lot about money. When we read the Gospels and we hear some of Jesus' stories and his examples of how to handle money, so often his point was that the way we handle our money is an indicator of our heart and our heart's ability or willingness to trust God in every circumstance. So certainly, as we grow in Jesus, as we grow as followers of Jesus, as we mature in our faith, we learn to submit our lives, to surrender control of our lives in every area to Jesus as Lord of our life. And certainly one of those areas then is our finances. So we grow as disciples by learning to submit every area of life to the Lord. So thanks for listening to that update. There are many ways, as you know, there are many ways that all of us who are part of this church family, all of us that come and go, all of us that seek the Lord together and enjoy each other's company, all that are part of this church, there's many ways that we are needed, that you are each needed and important to the ministry here. We certainly want to invite you to be committed to being here and worshiping together. We want to invite you to be committed to prayer, to serving, and using your time and energy to glorify God. We want to invite you to partner in ministry by supporting each other and supporting leaders and caring for those around you. And yes, we invite you to support the ministry by your giving. So you'll hear more in the coming weeks, and we trust God. We trust God to lead us through this, just like he has over and over again. For many years, his faithful provision for this church family is through the generosity of his people.